Cassava Sciences stock plummeted 11% on the last trading day, which was 27th of September, Friday. But it fell as low as 15% on an intraday level. Now, was this an opportunity to dive in and average down your position or even open up a position? Or is this the end of Cassava Sciences stock? You'll get the answer in this video. The news on which it fell was expected, yet it fell by 15%. So, what's going on? Well, we'll find out in this video. So stay until the end. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel once again. This is your friend Abhishek, but not a financial advisor, and here I am once again bringing for you guys another really informative video for Cassava Sciences. So yes, this is another Cassava Sciences stock update video, and I would recommend you guys to stick until the end and watch this video completely because every information in this video is quite important. So without wasting your time, let's get right into it. Okay, so first thing first, let's cover this particular information because this is quite a positive update, yet it was used in a negative way by the peers. But we won't talk about that. We will just talk about the exact information, and which is quite bullish in my opinion. So here we have Cassava Sciences announces completion of an interim safety review of oral semaglutide ongoing phase 2 trials, which came out on September 24th, last week. Now, an independent data and safety monitoring board DSMB recently evaluated the interim patient safety database for oral semaglutide in ongoing phase 3 trials. The keyword here is independent. Okay, so this is an independent identity DSMB who reviewed this. Okay, so this is quite amazing. Now, the DSMB recommended both phase 3 trials continued as planned without modification. This is another really key information, without modification. That means the safety review is up to the point, because if they would have asked for any modification, which actually is not that bad or not that complicated because they just want the safety of the patients, and it has happened in the past as well. But in case of Cassava Sciences, every small thing is magnified to such an extent by the bears that it would have affected the stock price for sure in a negative way. Okay, so the final clinical data for semaglutide are expected at the conclusion of the phase 2 program. So this we already know. Now, another important statement in this particular article came from Jim Kupik, which says, "We are pleased to have satisfactorily completed this safety review, the last before the expected top line readout for our phase 3 study." This is quite bullish, and this is what the chief medical officer said. And he also mentioned, "We look forward to announce top line efficacy, safety and biomarker data for 12-month phase 3 study before the end of 2024. So now I'm pretty confident that the data will come out before Christmas, and that hopefully would be our Christmas present and doesn't happen to be a black Christmas for us shareholders. So I'm pretty confident now, because in case of Remy Barbier, I actually did not trust any dates because everything was either delayed or they had some problems with reporting and stuff like that. But in case of Rick Barry and Jim Kupik, I'm pretty confident that the data will come before Christmas or the end of New Year's Eve. So we could actually celebrate those two occasions happily, hopefully, fingers crossed. Okay, before we jump on to the actual news which came out, and the headlines are actually for that particular news, I just want to show you the power of media and how one headline or words can actually make the whole article or the person bullish or bearish. Okay, so you can see the difference between these two, and that's why I took a screenshot for you guys, because I know these will disappear soon. So here it says, the first article says, Cassava Sciences resolves SEC investigation. This is the headline of this particular article. Looks quite good. Cassava Sciences resolves SEC investigations. Okay, so resolves looks quite positive. Okay, but here another article says Cassava Sciences shares fall after SEC charges for misleading Alzheimer's drug trial claims. You see the difference? This is the difference between paid media and media who is actually trying to show the real truth. So this is what people are actually misguided by. So they just, most of us just read headlines, and to be honest, most of the traders or short sellers or even swing traders, they just read such headlines. So technical analysis actually doesn't depend much on headlines or such news. Technical traders, some traders don't even look at the news. They just follow the algorithms, and they just trade. I used to do that as well without looking into news. Okay, so the algorithm and the trading pattern will follow or will happen anyways, regardless of any news. Of course, if the company dilutes shares or does a reverse split, then that is a different story. For that, you have to do your analysis once again, technical analysis once again. But on such news, it doesn't matter. But there are also traders who actually trade on news or macro or microeconomic situations. And if they just look at this particular headline, the third one, which is, or all the other headlines are actually so negative, which I will show you in a while. Cassava Sciences shares fall after SEC charges for misleading Alzheimer's drug claims. If they just look at this, who will buy? No one. I mean, if you don't click on it, and even if you click on this particular article, all you will find is all the negative piece of, anyways. So this is what the media is doing, or the paid media by the short sellers are doing. But on the other hand, if you read this particular headline that they resolve an SEC investigation, which is actually the case and which we expected, that is actually quite positive and might be the truth, but we'll jump onto that in a moment. So now let me show you how these articles are actually planned or portrayed to investors. Cassava Sciences shares fall after SEC charges for misleading Alzheimer's drug claims. Okay, the headline is quite negative, and if you read this, shares of Cassava Sciences fell 10% in post-market trading on Thursday after the US Securities and Exchange Commission charged the biopharmaceutical company and two former executives for misleading claims about the results of Alzheimer's clinical trials. The misleading statements were made in September 2020 about the results of a phase 2 clinical trial of Cassava's purported drug treatment of Alzheimer's, the SEC said. So the SEC said Cassava misled investors by saying its Alzheimer's drug significantly improved patient cognition. It failed to disclose that a full set of patient data actually showed no measurable cognitive improvement in the patient's episodic memory. You see? So as you see, this is what's happening with the media. But anyways, let's move forward, okay? So here I am now on Twitter on one of Matt's tweet, because here we have some more information about this SEC settlement of $40 million. And here we have some good information. By the way, a huge shout out to Matt. He's doing an amazing job for the community, okay? And we need such people like Matt as well, because he is doing a lot. So moving on. He says the samples are loaded to aliquots, and the same aliquot is used to measure 3 biomarkers. Dilution is not possible because he does not know the level of the biomarker. By this he means Dr. Wang. The ELISA machine outputs a file with a timestamp. 3 values are run for each biomarker and sample the value to grow a linear regression to get starting and ending values. There is no way to edit those values without a clear evidence of manipulation. That how did not alter the machine results with timestamps and proof, which makes sense. They did not say how he did it because they could not figure out how. And this is what, by the way, SEC did. So SEC claimed or said that Cassava Sciences denied or agreed to the manipulations or the unblinding, which I have covered in my last video as well. So SEC usually always portrays settlements like this in a really bearish or negative way, because they have to show that, okay, SEC has won. And this is the same exact thing which has happened right now. So SEC showed that there was a manipulation between the biomarker data of the sorted patients, which were sorted specially. The extreme endpoints were sorted out, and those were taken out. Why they were taken out? Because there was a big deviation between the results, and that's why it says that there was no significant improvement. Okay, the DOJ could not press forwarded biomarker manipulation charges because the evidence does not exist and they could not prove it, which I'll get onto in a moment. They could not mention it any of these complaints because there is zero proof of it happened, and which is true. They did not say how it happened. It seems like, to me, in my opinion, that SEC went on to some huge, rich influential beer of Cassava Sciences, and he had such screenshots and theory, and SEC just stated out this in their investigation report. That's all I could actually see. So SEC cherry picked one biomarker that showed some of the data points that he could have been unblinded, made the placebo looked worse. There were 11 biomarkers. Why didn't they show all of them? Because like the other two they showed, it did not align with their narrative. And this is what I wanted to clarify with you guys. The bears or the bulls, whoever are watching this is not a misinterpreted theory, what Matt here stated here. Okay, this is not a misinterpretation of what happened to convert this piece of news into a bullish point of view. This is the actual information, or this is the actual point of view. Now let's look on to the 8K report. So here it says Cassava Sciences resolved SEC investigation, which came out on September 26th. And here Rick Barry says, we would like to thank the staff of the Division of Enforcement of its professionalism and its engagement with the company, which enabled the board to conduct its own internal investigation, take decisive action, which was, removing Remy Barbier and Lindsay, Mrs. Burns. Okay, Cassava is pleased to put this matter behind us. Mr. Barry said, we can now focus all of our attention and completion on the phase 3 trials of Simifalum. While no one can accurately predict the future, of course, they have to say it, we remain hopeful that the trials will be successful, and after rigorous FDA review, Simifalum could become available to help those suffering from Alzheimer's disease. And again, this is quite amazing, and this is also quite important, where we have to know the financial status of the company. As previously announced, Cassava's net cash used in operations for the second half of 2024 is expected to be $80 million to $90 million, which includes the $40 million settlement and penalty. The company maintains its estimate that cash at year end of 2024 will be a range of $117 to $127 million. So we are all set. We don't have to worry about this. Now, let me get on to a point with this $40 million cash. I also mentioned in my previous video, which you can have a look at the icon above. I mentioned that if the settlement amount will be higher than $40 million, and that would be taken as a negative review from the SEC settlement and would be portrayed as a misinformation and a bearish information from the bears. But that did not happen, so bears had to work with something else. So instead, what they said, what was happening with the SEC investigation is that, of course, the results were manipulated and unblinded and this and that, which they have been saying since ages already. But now they also have a government stamp of SEC. SEC said that it was manipulated, but it has been settled now. So now they have this on their statement, the stamp from SEC that they were right. So this is all they have to say. That's all. But we don't have to worry about this, because Rick Barry also mentioned that they will be working on the biomarker data. So this is quite important. So me personally, I'm not that bothered with the SEC wordings which they have used in their report, because it's like how they usually do it. Okay, so another really important part and bullish point, in my opinion, is right here. In connection with the previously disclosed investigation by the Department of Justice, the company does not currently anticipate that DOJ's criminal division will bring charges against the company or seek a resolution with the company. This is huge news. Okay, so the conclusion from this is that we can leave SEC and DOJ behind us. Now, there is nothing else what the shorts could use until December. Nothing else whatsoever. But like I mentioned many times, and every time a prediction, touchwood, has proven to be correct, I said that before December, the SEC settlement will actually become a bearish news. Many people were saying that it would be a really bullish news, but I said that the price will drop. I said this 1.5 months ago, and it happened. The price dropped because the SEC settlement is a good news, but how the news is portrayed is quite important. Like I told you guys previously in this video, that the media plays a huge role, guys, in this play, and they are paid bashers. So this is why I said that this news will be portrayed in a way that it will be in favor of the bears. But anyways, we as long investors, we have to think about what is happening in the background in an actual way. And like I said, Matt has been helping the community a lot. He is, I think, personally involved with the company because now he is a 5% owner in the company, so that's why he has to be involved. And it's a huge allocation, to be honest, of his in his portfolio. But this shows us his confidence in the company, and that's why he's more involved. He has his skin in the game, you know. So that's why I actually believe his tweets as well. But I also analyze his tweets because it can happen. It's not his fault. It can happen when you have so much money involved, your personal money, your personal hard-earned money in a company, then you could become a bit biased. Yes. For me, my portfolio is also quite heavily loaded with Cassava Sciences. So of course I'm not a multimillionaire like Matt, but whatever money I have, depending on that, my allocation is quite high. But I am not biased here, guys. I'm not biased at all. If there's something really wrong, then I will mention that it is wrong, and I will try to give you guys the exact information. And I'm always unbiased in this case, because I know many of you guys are also somehow, I know that every YouTuber has to say, every financial YouTuber has to say it's not a financial advice and this and that. And I know that it is not a financial advice, but of course, you guys might get influenced by the information we say or we mention in our videos. And that's why I don't want to give you guys any misinformation, okay? And this is nothing to influence you guys. This video or these videos are just to give you guys information, proper information and correct information, and my personal opinion, my take on the particular company. And that's what I'm doing here. Okay, so that's it, guys. These were two pieces of information which I wanted to cover in this video, and these are quite important points. So like I said in the beginning of this video, is this the end of Cassava Sciences? Definitely not. Okay, this is what the bears are always saying. So I started the video in that way because this is how they actually, like I told you, the headlines are always like that. And when I said this in the beginning of the video, I'm sure you guys must have taken aback. Okay, what is Abhi saying? Okay, this is what I wanted to show you guys, that this is how media actually plays a role in such cases. And you don't have to really get influenced by that media or by any of us as well. Dig down deeper, check all the sources, and then make your decision if the news is really bad or not. This is the lesson from this video. Okay, so that's all, guys. I hope you found this video quite helpful, and if you did, then please hit that like button. It really helps me, my channel, so that I am motivated enough to keep bringing these informative videos to you guys. Because like I said, guys, it's just a small channel and I don't earn anything significant from this channel, so it's only for you guys. So please, I hope you guys show some respect and love to the channel as well. So that's all, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. And if you guys have anything or any questions, please use the comment section down below and I will definitely answer. Like always, I never leave a single comment. Even if there are 90, 100, 120 comments, I always answer all of them. So I'll answer you guys and I'll see you there in the comment section down below. Until then, stay safe, stay happy, and keep investing. Ciao.